Welcome to Tuesday's Knots Today with me, Mark Dennison. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing all right. Here's what's on the show for you today. Firstly, we've been to the official tram naming ceremony for two of Nottingham's most influential charity leaders.
Just because there's poverty and people may be struggling with different challenges in life, if I can do this, then you can do this.
More on that in just a moment. Plus, we'll be speaking with Nottinghamshire's Deputy Police and Crime Commissioner to hear how community groups could get their share of a £300,000 grant. Angela Candola will be joining us on the sofa shortly to talk about her new Safer Nottinghamshire Together grants, which are aimed at targeting 5 key policing priorities. Staying with policing, we'll also hear from people in the city about whether more patrols are needed. That's after Nottinghamshire Police allocated extra cash to improve visibility.
It's a very difficult subject, but it's a subject that if it's not tackled sooner or later, it's going to get worse. We had a bad reputation at one time. We were called Shottingham. Now we've got a knife culture.
And later on, we'll be hearing all about a carnival that's been going on for nearly a century ahead of its return this weekend. The event in Long Eaton has been running since the early 1930s. We'll be chatting with one of the organisers about what you can expect if you head down there on Saturday. In sport, we'll be hearing from outgoing Forest defender Harry Toffolo as he thanks the club and fans for his 3 years at the City Ground.
I think everyone's just really bought into what we want to do. It's a football club that is aligned from the very top all the way down to the players, the staff at the stadium and the training ground, and it's just a special place to be.
So all of that and plenty more coming up for you. But firstly, two of Nottingham's most influential charity names have been renamed in tram form in their honour after being crowned Net Community Heroes of the Year. The social enterprise Pulp Friction and Marcellus Bass, BEM, of youth charity Switch Up, were voted by the people of Nottingham due to the difference both organisations have made in people's lives. As a warning, this piece by Jack Sims may contain some flash photography.
Riding the rails of success and progress, all for Nottingham. Earlier this year, the people of Nottingham were asked to nominate the person they felt had made a difference in the local community. But judges deemed the decision was just too tough for one winner, so the tram was given 2 heroes for the price of 1. On one side, Dr. Marcellus Baz, BEM, the founder of youth charity Switch Up, which has helped thousands of young people in Nottingham through sports mentorship, counselling and education. And on the other, Pulp Friction, the organisation which helps people with learning difficulties to develop their social independence. Their tram was unveiled in a ceremony, with Marcellus saying it represents his charity's belief that anyone can achieve anything if they set their mind to it.
Everybody's part of Switch Up. Switch Up is a movement, and you guys at Nottingham is the fabric of that movement. Just because there's poverty and people may be struggling with different challenges in life, if I can do this, then you can do this.
Jill Carter, MBE, is joint CEO of social enterprise Pulp Friction. Their most recent project was a floral display at the famous Chelsea Flower Show. Jill says the honour means just as much to those the organisation helps.
I want them to know that learning disabled and autistic people are part of community. They don't need to be sidelined, we don't need to be forgotten about, we need to be out and about, and that's what Pulp Friction is about, really, making sure we're visible, making sure we're seen, and making sure people know we've got a contribution. So having the name on there will help to raise that as well, but also it might encourage more people to use the tram. Certainly some of our members who are afraid of using public transport, this will be a tool that we'll use to encourage them to do more travel training, so it'll work on so many levels.
And as for the Nottingham Transport Service, they believe events like this celebrate the best that Notts has to offer.
And we've had the very famous people like Sir Paul Smith and Mary Earps very recently. But this competition that we ran was all about recognising those people on the ground doing the positive good work for the members of our society, and we wanted to really recognise that.
But for these local heroes, it's moments like this where the community gives back to them that are so rare but mean so much. Jack Sims for Knots TV.
Wow, this is better than opening a Christmas present.
Time for our first guest of the show now. Nottinghamshire community and voluntary organisations are being offered the chance to apply for a £300,000 grant funding pot to try and create a safer Nottinghamshire. So the Safer Nottinghamshire Together grants will be awarded to groups who can deliver projects to tackle key priorities, with 2 different types of grants available until 2028. Here to tell us all about it and how you can potentially get involved is Deputy Police and Crime Commissioner Angela Candola. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, I understand there are 5 priorities that the Police and Crime Commissioner has outlined. I'll come on to that in just a minute. There are 2 types of grants, yes, aren't there? One longer term and one short term. Tell us about that.
Yes, it's 300,000 and one is a multi-year grant of 25,000. And the smaller grant is a community chest fund grant of one-off projects for 5,000.
Okay. I know you've got the key dates and how people can get involved, haven't you? So we'll come on to those in just a minute. So as I understand, the 5 priorities are antisocial behaviour, protecting vulnerable people from harm, violence against women and girls, serious violence, including knife crime, and then improving criminal justice outcomes for children, women and girls and minority communities. These are obviously the 5 priorities that your boss, if you like, the Police and Crime Commissioner, feels strongly about.
It's about public safety and it's part of his police and crime panel plan as well. So this is why he's got the 5 priorities, and it also gives the voluntary sector opportunities to, you know, go for one of the priorities for the grants as well, because there's so much valuable work done in the voluntary sector and there's so much expertise and specialism. You'll have one organisation that specialises in prevention of knife crime. You'll have another one that supports women, violence against women and girls. And so they've got the opportunity to apply for this grant with that expertise they have.
Okay. Do you want to run us through what the key dates are? Because I know obviously there are certain sort of rules and parameters, aren't there? So what are the dates that people need to remember?
Right, it's in July the 15th, 9 o'clock, and that is the deadline. All the applications and everything is on the website of how you apply. If organisations want that additional support, the Commissioner has commissioned an expert voluntary sector organisation, Council Voluntary Services, to offer that support. So if organisations want the additional support to look at the Nottinghamshire Safer Grants, they just fill in the form and that will be sent to Nottingham Council for Voluntary Services, and they'll pass it on to the organisation closer to them to offer that support.
Okay. Can I ask you how long the form might be? Because people might be watching and listening thinking, I don't like paperwork. Is it going to take a long time to fill in, or is it fairly straightforward?
It's fairly straightforward. The form has been changed from what was there previously, so it's a lot easier. And okay. If individuals have problems, like we said, we've commissioned the voluntary sector to support them with those forms as well. So, you know, if they do feel, oh my God, this is a bit too difficult, yeah, they've got that additional support. And this is why the Commissioner has done that, to encourage that support, to get those voluntary sector organisations to apply and deliver those services.
Okay, so July the 15th, people have still got 9 a month to get involved. And it's all on the website there. Is that the main police website?
Yes, it's the Office of Police and Crime Commissioner Nottinghamshire website. All the details are there. Okay.
So, as for you and for Gary as well, who is the Police and Crime Commissioner, I just wonder why this is so important. Why are you both so keen to drive this forward?
Gary wanted this. It's about working in partnership. That is part of the police and crime plan, but we've got so much valuable voluntary sector organisations there to deliver this kind of work in partnership with us. We can't do it alone, and we need that partnership, and we need the communities to support us to deliver the objectives of the police and crime plan.
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming in and outlining what people need to do. So July the 15th is the deadline. Main police website, and there's help if anyone needs that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Angela, good to see you. Thank you very much
indeed.
Thank you. Just to remind you, by the way, those 5 key priorities are antisocial behaviour, protecting vulnerable people from harm, violence against women and girls, serious violence, including knife crime, and finally improving criminal justice outcomes for children, women and girls and minority communities. Get involved in that if you can. Time for some more news headlines now, and a murder investigation has been launched following the death of a man in Newark. Emergency services were called to Lombard Street just after 5 p.m. on Monday. That followed reports of a medical emergency related to a man behind the wheel of a car. He was pronounced dead at the scene before police launched a murder investigation. Nottinghamshire Police is urging any witnesses to come forward and say they're working to understand what happened at the time. Anyone who can help can get in touch with them on 101. And Nottinghamshire fire crews tackled fires across about 4,000 square metres of forestry at Sherwood Pines Nature Reserve. Crews from Edwinstowe, Tuxford, Warsop, Eastwood and Worksop stations were called to the forest on Sunday after a fire in the open. They reminded people to stay safe outdoors during the hot weather and avoid bringing a barbecue, to dispose of cigarettes safely and not to leave rubbish which could ignite. They used specialist equipment to put out the fire. They said it was extinguished quickly after their arrival. We're going to take a short break now. When we come back, we'll be hearing all about a carnival that launched in the 1930s, even before my time. It returns in a few days' time. A preview of that and getting your views on police visibility in the city centre as well. Coming up next after this short break. Hello, welcome back to Tuesday's show with me, Mark Dennison. Thank you for joining us. Here's what's happening in Notts today. Firstly, nearly half of all council homes in Nottingham have had vital safety checks as part of plans to improve council services. A full restock condition survey was started on Nottingham City Council's 26,000 social homes last summer, just before the regulator for social housing gave the authority its second lowest possible rating. 2 contractors have been appointed to survey the homes. At a meeting this week, the council said more than 11,000 surveys have taken place as the authority looks to improve conditions for tenants. And staying with the city, the return date for Old Market Square's annual summer beach attraction has been confirmed, and it's less than a month away. The city will host a summer of sun, sand and non-stop entertainment, and the beach returns on Wednesday, July the 16th. The City Council says it will offer a sandy beach and paddling area, fun fair rides and games, beachside food and drink and family fun activities too. Plus, there will be events like movie nights, salsa, live DJs and volleyball tournaments. It all ends on August the 31st. We can't wait! Moving on now, and we're returning to the issue of policing in Nottingham after Nottinghamshire Police confirmed about £1.5 million will be spent on increased patrols in various hotspot areas. That includes Old Market Square and the Lace Market, and it comes following several high-profile incidents in the city relating to knife crime. After news of the funding was announced, we went into the city centre to hear people's thoughts on whether Nottingham feels safe and if the extra patrols are a good idea.
I have been travelled to some other cities in the UK. I feel Nottingham is much safe than other cities.
I've been abroad and this year and Switzerland and Turkey. I know I don't smell marijuana on the streets. I don't see people sleeping on the streets in Turkey or places like that. I don't know why it is in England. So something wrong.
It's a very difficult subject, but it's a subject that if it's not tackled sooner or later, it's going to get worse. We had a bad reputation at one time. We were called Shottingham because we had a gun culture. Now we've got a knife culture and can't afford it.
They know the problem's there, but they just want to arrest, they don't want to support the people. They need to support the people with the problems, give them more of a chance, and I reckon things would get better.
Definitely needs to be more police walking around and obviously checking different people.
I suppose we need more finance if we're going to have more police. Keir Starmer's been talking about putting more police on the streets, hasn't he? But I think we're yet to see it here. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the police force, don't get me wrong. I think they do a terribly difficult job. but maybe there just aren't enough of them.
Time for our next guest now. We're talking all things Long Eaton as the Long Eaton Carnival is returning for a weekend of stalls, events and live music taking place this coming Saturday, the 21st of June. The event has been running since 1931. It's an important volunteering and fundraising opportunity for the town. Here to tell us all about it, including a preview of what you can expect on Saturday's committee member, Claire Robinson. Good to see you, Claire. Thanks for joining us on the sofa. Give us a potted history. I mentioned there, started in 1931.
Yeah, so originally the carnival was set up because there was no NHS, and it was for the local hospitals to raise funds for those. And then it's carried on every year since then.
Yeah, you were just telling me as well that one year, you'll probably know which year this was, you had a rather special VIP opening the whole carnival as well.
Yeah, that's right. It was Richard Attenborough.
Wow. He came along to Long Eaton Carnival. Do you know which year that was, or we'll Google it in a minute. Tell us about what's happening this coming weekend. What kind of things have you got going on?
So the starting point really from West Park is the parade, which goes around the town from 11 o'clock. And obviously involves all the lorries, the floats, the walking parties, and the whole town likes to come out and stand and view the parade. And then when it comes back into West Park, usually about 1:30, that's when the whole event kicks off. We have the arenas on West Park. So there's events taking place in the two arenas that we have, plus all the stalls, the businesses, charities, people selling their wares and promoting what they do. And then the live music kicks off in the party in the park at the music marquee. And so, yeah, I mean, that actually starts on the Friday. So the Friday evening, from 6:30, we have music as well as on the Saturday afternoon.
Gotcha. And I was looking on the website and I noticed this year's theme is board games.
Correct.
So how does the theme sort of transfer into the carnival itself? Will people be getting dressed up? Are there going to be decorations around the theme of board games?
Yeah, that's right. So every year we ask the local community, usually on Facebook, to give their ideas for a theme. Yeah. And we whittle them down and sort of collate around about 6 different choices, and then the local community pick their favourite. So yes, this year is board games, and then when they enter the parade with their application, obviously it's expressed for them to decorate in the theme of the parade.
I'm just trying to think now, what would I go as? Scrabble tile or something like that. Yeah, why not? Something like this, I mentioned at the beginning, Claire, you and your colleagues must spend an awful lot of time putting this together. I mean, I know it starts on Friday night with the live music, it runs right through Saturday, but it all takes a lot of organising, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. So obviously it's a yearly effort. We have a meeting every Monday, and it's a monthly meeting. So even when the carnival's passed, you know, we're still carrying on every month doing different things that we need to do on our timeline viewing that we have. So yeah, we are all volunteers. There's around about 15 of us, as well as doing our full-time jobs. And, you know, it's a free event. It is for the whole community, you know, families, young kids, right up to the elderly. They all come out and love it. But yeah, it all does cost money, unfortunately. You know, you want security, health and safety, marquees, you know, everything costs money. So that's why you'll see people out with the buckets, and, you know, in the modern age, we have card machines, the Just Giving page. Yeah. And we do also have the car boots that we run from April to October every month. And that's what we'll be doing on Sunday at bright and early.
Wow.
from.
You've got a busy weekend, haven't you? You'll be out there raving on Friday night. You've got the whole day of the carnival on Saturday, and then car boot Sunday as well. And it's open to anyone, we should say, not just if you don't have to show your passport just to show where you're from or anything like that.
Open to everyone.
I wish you well, and we've booked good weather for you as well, Claire. Thank you for coming in. And it was 1985, by the way, with Richard Attenborough. We found that out while we were on there. Good luck. Thank you, Claire. Time now for some sport, and we will start with Nottingham Forest outgoing defender Harry Toffolo, who's leaving the City Ground at the end of his current contract. Following 3 seasons with the Reds, the fullback arrived at Forest in the summer. They got promoted back to the Premier League in 2022, and he's made 57 appearances across those 3 years. As his time with the club comes to an end, he explained the emotions he's been feeling as he prepares to bid farewell to the club and the city too.
It's been easy really at the start because I was away on holiday, and now I've come back and I've seen the city, and I've took the kids to school this morning. It was almost like you see the familiar faces. It's almost the people you built friendships with, relationships with. They've come into your life at an important time. You've helped them, and they've helped me massively. So yeah, it's tough. I'm excited for the future. I'm very, very grateful for this football club. Just looking out there now is just quite, yeah, it moved me when I was driving through the gates into the players' car park, thinking probably it's the last time I'm going to go into the players' car park. So, but no, it's a fantastic time. I think everyone's just really bought into what we want to do. It's a football club that is aligned from the very top all the way down to the players, the staff at the stadium and the training ground, and it's just a special place to be.
Across the Trent, Notts County have announced 2 new signings as they prepare for the new season. That includes 32-year-old central midfielder Oliver Norburn, who's signed a 1-year deal after leaving Blackpool this summer. He'll be calling Meadow Lane his new home alongside Afghanistan international Mazir Kuya, who joins the club after playing for National League North side Kidderminster last time out. And as for Mansfield Town, they've confirmed their 4th pre-season fixture, which will take place against Championship side Oxford United. The Stags will welcome their fellow Yellows to Field Mill on July the 22nd in what will be their penultimate pre-season fixture ahead of the new season, which starts in August. It's also their only scheduled home fixture, with away trips to Retford United, Macclesfield Town and Matlock Town also scheduled through July. Time now for your picture of the day. This one's from Helen Green on Facebook. Oh, little Cygnus, how cute! Taken at Newstead Abbey. You probably knew that already. I know you know your geography, you clever clogs. Been gorgeous today. Temperatures hitting a high of 25 degrees. Mirror image of that tomorrow, highs of 25 and lows of 13. Tomorrow night, Thursday, even warmer. Highs of 28 degrees and lows of 14. Visibility very good throughout the next few days, and the sun won't be setting until about 9:30 in the evening. Bit of bad news, I'm afraid. Pollen levels are high. Bless you. That is the end of the show. Thank you as always to all of our great guests and from everyone behind the scenes here. Have a lovely evening. I'll see you tomorrow to do it again at 5:30. Meantime,